Hi, this video to demonstrate both the FUE and the FUT scar. And this client went through both technique. Many years ago, he went through the FUT scar, and then last couple years, last year, he went through the FUE scar. And the audience want to know what's the difference in the scar. Well, here it is. The FUT has the strip method have a linear scar, where the FUE has tiny dots of scar scattered throughout the back like mosaic pattern, allow you to wear your hair shorter without detectability. And the FUT scar, you can't really see it unless you, if you leave your hair long, no one's gonna see it. But if you leave your hair short and shaved like this, then the FUT scar will be visible. I do both methods. I do both FUE and FUT. Although the FUT or strip method is fading out, but it's still very effective, and it has this important nowadays, and why people still use it, because the FUT is cheaper and it's more effective on the advanced hair loss pattern. So the benefit of FUT or the strip method is for advanced hair loss, class 5, 6, or 7 hair loss, where we can move 6,000 grafts per day and to reach a goal faster. And so the FUE at the FUT not just move large number of grafts, but it's cheaper than the FUE. Number two, so that's number two. Now, so move larger number of grafts, less price cheaper, and the growth rate is only 5% better than the FUE. Again, both of them are good growth rate, FUE or FUT. You can have good result, it doesn't matter which method. But my FUT is 5% than my FUE. But then my FUE is still better than most clinic that does FUE or FUT. So it's really depend. But in this case, the benefit of the FUT again is move larger number of grafts, it's cheaper, and it grow 5% better. But then the downside of FUT or the strip method is more invasive. Okay, we had to cut you open. You have a permanent linear scar. You have numbness and more side effect. Again, both of them are minimally invasive and you don't have much side effect. But if you compare FUT versus FUE, yeah, slightly more. But majority of the time, you're not going to have side effect, much of it. On the other hand, the FUE is a more advanced technology and leave tiny dots of scars scattered throughout the back like mosaic pattern, allow you to wear your hair shorter. The FUE, again, this client has both method, and it's an excellent client for us to demonstrate both the FUE and FUT. But the benefit of the FUE is we don't open the scalp, so we're just pulling one at a time. That leave you tiny dots of scar scattered throughout the back like mosaic pattern, allow you to wear your hair shorter. Number one. Number two is less invasive, because we're not opening you up. That means less painful, less bleeding, less chance of infection, and you heal faster. And you can wear your hair shorter. But the downside of the FUE is the cost. It's more expensive because why? It's more labor. Just to give you an example, to harvest the FUE, in general, it would take me 5 to 7 hours to pull in one root at a time with the FUE method versus the FUT or the strip method. The labor is during the harvesting part is only 1 hour. But the overall surgery of the FUE will be 12 to 16 hour surgery. Overall of the FUT surgery is 8 to 10 hour surgery. So that's why the labor is more than it costs more. The number of grafts we can do is less, around 2,500. Although there are days I can go 3,000 or more. The other important factor of the benefit of the FUE again is well, besides the less scar and less invasive, but the downside is the cost more, and the downside is the number of grafts we can do is less. But in terms of growth rate wise, it's almost identical. And because I'm an FUE specialist, the growth rate pretty much equal. The density looks good. You're gonna have a fantastic result. It doesn't matter which technique. However, the FUE, if you compare carefully, is 5% less. 5% is not much. It's sometimes in 3% less than the FUT. And again, my FUE will, when I compare to other clinic, it can be better. Why? Because I'm an FUE specialist for over 11 years. I invented many of my tools and my technique to harvest the straight or curly hair. And I'm one of the leading authority in terms of harvesting FUE, using the FUE method for black curly hair.